Okay, you guys, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about parties because parties seriously is the way to grow your business, to build your passion, to help people see results and be knowledgeable about products that we offer. And so I personally love to party, and I wanted to give you some tips and tricks of things that I've learned along the way, okay? So number one is do not overthink this. So many people say, well, I've never done one before. I don't know if anyone would come. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't have all the products. I haven't used them all, and blah, 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 blah. All of these reasons why they're not doing a party. Okay, so number one, cut the excuses, cut the reasons, and host your first party or ask someone else to host your first party and do it. Okay, you just have to do it. Is it scary? It's as scary as you make it to be. Now, if you're not a good public speaker, if you don't maybe feel as knowledgeable as you should be, there are ways that you guys can practice. I know for me, before I did my first party, I literally practiced in front of the mirror. I had my script of what I wanted to say. I read it in front of the mirror. It was super awkward. I made my husband listen. It was even more awkward. And when I did my very first party, it was super awkward. But you guys, it gets better the more that you do it. And if you don't even do it, then you're never going to get better. So you need to book your first party. So when I'm booking a party, the first thing I think of is what kind of party would I like to go to? If I have heard of It Works before, what kind of party would I like to go to? If I've never heard of the company before, what kind of party would I like to go to? And I just think to myself, you know, I don't want to feel pressure. I don't want to feel pressure to buy. So if I don't feel pressure to buy, that's a party that I'm more likely to attend. I like to try things. So if I can try stuff, if I can rub on a lotion or drink a drink or try something, if there's food there, perfect, I'm there. If I can wear sweatpants, I'm there. Like if it's casual, what kind of party would you like to go to? So that's the question that you need to ask yourself. And then you're going to create that party. Okay, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I do, and I don't want that to stop you from doing a party. You don't have to be like, well, I don't have all the stuff that Tamika has. Like, no, it doesn't matter, but you just need to think, if I was going to a party, what kind of party would I go to? Okay, now, the second question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the purpose of your party? There are a lot of different reasons why you can do a party. Are you doing a party so that you can just like share the information with people? Are you doing a party so that way they can try the products? Are you doing a party so that way you can make wrap cash? Do you want your party more geared towards skincare and doing facials? Do you want it more geared towards weight loss? Do you want it more geared towards lifestyle? Do you want to do a distributor party where you're talking to them about the business, the different products that we have and how you can make money in the business? So you need to decide, what's the purpose? What outcome do you want to have from your party? And then I know that when you're clear on your vision, then your conversations automatically steer you in that direction. And so you want to make sure that you have a clear purpose for your party. Okay? So once you figure out what kind of party you want to do, or what kind of party you would like to go to and what the purpose of your party is going to be, the third thing is that you need to book a party. So how are you going to book a party? When I first started, I went to my close friends and family and said, hey, I just started this business. I'd love to come and do a practice party. Could you invite some of your friends? I'm going to bring my products. Super, non-formal. I just want to practice. And most people said, yeah, sure, I'd be more than willing to do that. We booked a time. I came. I failed. But I still did my party, and I still signed customers from it. It maybe didn't go the way that I wanted to go, but I still signed customers. And so I just kind of called it a practice party, bring some friends. Let's keep it super casual. Another kind of party that I've done is when people can't afford products. So as you're messaging and reaching out to people and they say that they don't have the money to afford products, then I'm like, well, if you want to host a party, you'll get to try the products for free, and I'll also throw in a free host gift. Or I'll be able to wrap you for free, or I'll give you a little snag bag of goodies or something like that. And so anybody who has told you that they couldn't afford products, see if they would be interested in hosting a party for you. Another way that I book parties is I message my existing customers. My customers love our products, and there's nothing better than having them host a party, invite their friends, and they sell them for you, because they are going to tell all the people about their hair, their skin. They're going to tell them about the weight that they've lost, the energy that they have, and it's not even you having to sell it, because they're so sold on the products that they sell for the people at the party. So a script that I like to use, I just pulled it up real quick. This is one that I sent actually this month to my existing customers. I said, hey, I wanted to ask if you'd be willing to host a sip and sample for me next month. It's super easy. I'll create an online event, an invitation for you to send out to a few of your friends. They will get to try some of our top selling products for free and have the opportunity to wrap for half off. It's a really good time. For being a host, you'll get a gift too. Can we compare calendars and see if there's a day that will work for you? Most people said yes, and then I was able to send them a picture of my calendar for next month and then get some parties booked. Once I got parties booked, I set up my own event online. If you've never done that before, don't be scared. The only way you grow is by doing things you've never done before. So just reach out to somebody and ask them, hey, how do you set up an online event? Or go to Google and type in how do you create an online event on Facebook, and you're gonna learn how to do it, and it's gonna be super simple. I just created a little party invite where it's just plain, so that way I could easily fill in the information. So you can see right there, it just says, so excited to party it up with you, a little bit of information, and then name, time, and address. And so when I booked my parties, I was just able to write their name in there with the date, time, and address. So by doing a little bit of work ahead of time, I've saved myself a lot of work in the future, just because I have that created. So book your party, book as many as you can, and then you want to prep your material. So what do you need for a sample party? Basically, it depends what the purpose of your party is and what you would want your party to be like if you were going to one, okay? So I'm going to show you what I have. That does not mean in any way, shape, or form this is what you need to have. I have been doing this business for over 4 years now. I've done a lot of parties. I have a lot of products. I have a lot of experience now because I just started with one. So I want you guys to start with one, and then I want you to grow from there. So here are a couple of things that I like to bring to a party. I like to bring a sign-in sheet. This is just one that I created on Microsoft Office. I just copied and pasted a picture and made a table. It says their name, their phone number, who invited you, and then what's your top health or beauty goal for 2019. As people come, I just have them sign in. I don't need this if they're people that I already know at the party, or if it's only people that I invited. Maybe I just have a sign-up sheet that says, what's your name, what's your phone number, and what are you interested in, what are your goals. Okay, so your sign-in sheet can look like whatever you need it to, but I like to have a little sign-in sheet. That way I can follow up with the people who came. Also having that Facebook event is kind of like a sign-in sheet, because everyone who got invited that clicked interested or going, I'm able to connect with them right on Facebook and follow up with them after the party, whether they attended or not. I also like to have order forms on hand, so then that way at the end of the party I pass them around, or actually at the beginning of the party I pass them around. I said, as I'm talking about products and they're ones that you're interested in, make sure that you find them on here and just put a little circle on them or a little star next to it, so that way I can make sure that I talk to you about pricing for those products. And so I like to have little order forms that I can have them fill out. Another thing that I do, kind of is paperwork. I like to keep this in my bag. I don't pull it out, but in case if anybody is interested in knowing what the product does or the ingredients list. I just printed these out for my back office, the eSuite. It's got the information on the front with the ingredients and then the frequently asked questions on the back. And so I like having this just available in case if there's anybody with allergies or those greens that come to your party that want more information. We do have catalogs, so you can either use catalogs or you can use the order forms that I was talking about, or both. It's just nice for them to be able to have somewhere to take note as far as what products we're talking about and what they could be interested in, because come the end of the party, they're going to forget about everything that you talked about. So it's just nice to have that as a little reference. Okay. My rule of thumb is if I cannot bring all of my party materials in one trip, I'm bringing way too much. So when I go to a party, this is what I take. My big box of goodies. All right. So what I have created in here is just something super simple. This is my wrap cash jar. Inside I have a body wrap that's been washed and wrung out and dried. I've got a tape measure, and then I also have a facial wrap. So when I get to the party, I can lay this stuff out. I have my wrap cash jar. If anyone wants to wrap, they're gonna put their cash in here. Sometimes I'll put my own cash, just that way they know cash goes here. And then they get to grab a wrap. So if you're gonna have a wrap party where you wanna make wrap cash, then you gotta make sure that you have wraps. So I'll just lay these out in front of my wrap cash jar and all of this stuff. You guys can't really see because it's on the table, so let me just tip this down for a second. I'll just lay all of this out right there. So then that way they can grab a wrap and put their money in the jar, okay? And in order to just have these, you just do a wrap. When you're done with it, just rinse it underneath some water, wring it out, rinse it, wring it out, and then I just laid it on my bathtub to dry and It's just a dry wrap. And when I do a party, I am always saying, like, you know, the wrap comes in a pack like this. There are 4 individual wraps inside. When you open up the wrap and take it out, it's gonna look like this. There's gonna be a cream on one side, and then I can use this wrap to show how you would wrap your stomach. I always tell them I'd cut it in half, and how I would wrap my arms, how I have wrapped my legs or my thighs or my love handles or my saddlebags, how you could wrap your neck. And I just kind of go through all the different areas that you can wrap using this dry wrap, okay? So that's one thing I like to have. A lookbook. So just a little photo album of before and after pictures in case if someone wants to see that. Sometimes I just have them in an album on my phone. And so as I'm talking about the stretch mark cream or talking about the defining gel or the wraps or the ThermoFight X, then I can easily just scroll through on my phone and I have this album of before and after pictures that I can show to the people there at the party, because results sell, you guys, results sell. So it's always good to have some before and afters. Okay, in this box, I've got a little box of Dixie cups. This is what I use to sample. I also like to have this, grab it, my It Works shaker bottle, okay? If you don't have a shaker bottle, then that doesn't mean that you can't do a party. That just means go to Walmart and get yourself just a regular shaker bottle. But I like to have this because it shakes up the greens, the collagen really nicely, the coffee, and I just like to have a little shaker bottle so that I can mix it, pour it in the cups, go rinse it out. I can mix another drink, pour it in the cups, go mix it out, go rinse it out. So I like having these, super simple. And then Fab Wrap, obviously, for the wrap station there. And then inside of this box, you guys, is nothing super fancy. I went to the dollar store and I got a board and I glued product stuff on these boards. And so it makes it really easy. I don't have to go around my house and get all my products, or I don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of products on hand, but I'll just put this one like this. Let me make it real quick and then I'll show you, okay? Flowers give it a nice touch. Okay, so I've got my product boards just set up right here, okay? And then I'll take some empty products. Now these are just empty. I have a whole bin of empty stuff. I save all my empty stuff. That way I can give it to my new distributors. If I'm doing vendor shows, it's nice just to have empty stuff so I don't have to worry about anybody running off with it. But I'll just put all of my empty stuff in front of these little boards just for show. The only one that's not empty is the Fat Fighter, because I like to do the Fat Fighter demonstration. If you've never done that before, you just take some water, put a little bit of vegetable oil on top, crush a pill, which I know you guys saw this earlier. This is my little pill crusher. So I put 2 pills inside the lid, I pour it into the vegetable oil and water, and then within a minute or less, it completely absorbs and passes through, and this sells the Fat Fighter itself, just doing that. So that's the only one that is full. Other than that, they are empty. So I just put this stuff, just as you can see, in front of, I'll put my facials right here, okay, and then I'll put collagen here as well. I've got immunity, I've got coffee, so I'll just have one of those out, keto coffee, threw in some keto energies here on the ground, some hydrate, you know, just a couple of these little sample products so that way they can see how convenient and easy they are. And we've got chocolate greens there. So let me pull my camera up so you guys can see a little bit better. So all of these are empty except for the Fat Fighter. Then I've got, so that's like lifestyle line. Then I've got skincare, and then I've got my keto stuff there. So super simple. Don't have to have that stuff in order to do a party, but it's nice just to have empty product bottles to show people what it is, and then I can go through and say, you know, the Relief does this, the Confianza They're Thermophyte. In fact, this one has one pill. Sometimes I leave one pill in the bottle so that way I can just show them like the size of it. Some people like to know the size of it. Some people like to smell it. So I just have them all lined up there, and I just can kind of go through and talk about it, and it keeps things nice and organized for me. Okay, so that's usually my setup. I have one other type of party that I do, and this party is like information and trying stuff. If I want people to try products and learn about them, then that is the kind of party that I do. Another kind of thing setup that I have is I just got this little tray thing from Walmart, and I've got a whole bunch of sample stuff in here. So if I'm doing like a vendor show or a party where I want to make cash, I'll have little bags here that they can go through, and they can pick out, 4 for $20. They can pick out what they want to try, and they can fill their own goodie bag and be able to leave with that, and I can make product sales. So that's another idea. If you want to just sell more things, is you can have them just in little containers that people can pick and choose from. So last thing I want to tell you guys about a party is, number one, before the party starts is when you're going to get the most information. Before the party starts, I always make sure that my phone is put away as guests are coming in. I'm introducing myself, and I'm just asking and talking to them. I'm finding out, what do they do for work? Do they exercise? How's their eating? And if I can find out all this stuff before I do the party, then when I'm going through the products, then I can easily look at the person that I need to look to and say, I know you were just looking to lose 10 pounds, or I know that you play sports and you've got joint pain, or I know that this part on your neck is a part that you're really self-conscious about and that you want to work on. And so I'm able to learn a lot from people before the party even starts, and I think that's key. Okay, number two is, nobody has ever been to a sample party before. And if they have, it was different than the one that you're going to do, and their next one that they go to is going to be completely different. So you don't need to worry about their expectations. You just need to worry about that you're getting your purpose across and why you're doing this. And so do not worry about what it looks like, because they've never been to one before, and they're going to go to one that's completely different later on, and so it doesn't matter. Okay, and then the third thing is that you are going to screw up. You are going to make mistakes, but that's what makes it relatable. That's what's going to sell your story. And I always like to end with my story, and I always like to tell people, why I started this business and what the products have done for me. And when they see that I'm a real person, then it makes them think that they can do it too. Whether it's being a customer and losing the weight, or getting the confidence, or getting the results that they want, or whether it's doing the business, and that they could actually be successful in a business like this, because we're not perfect. We do screw up. And so I would just encourage each and every one of you guys to do a party, and then do another one, and then do another one. And before you leave, get your sign-in sheet and say, now, those of you who book your party today are also going to be able to get 40% off on products, and be able to get a gift basket of prizes for hosting, the next one. And so I always try to never leave a wrap party without my next one booked. And I hope that these tips help, and I'm excited to hear how your party goes.